Superfly triathlete community. How are you guys doing today? Hope you've been having a good week, getting ready for a good weekend, whether you're racing. I know there's some good races going on, so I wish all the Superfly triathletes good luck wherever you're racing. I know Adam and Tanya are out in California, so I hope they have a great race out there. Anyway, we'll give people a little bit of time to get on here. Today's topic is freestyle high elbow recovery. So we mentioned that in last week's video with body rotation, but we're going to get into it pretty heavily today on this live broadcast. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the first series of group. We've had 4 so far. This is number 5, so I hope you guys have been enjoying those and finding some help there and getting out and practicing some of the things that we've talked about. So I hope you're making good use of it and learning some new techniques and being able to apply the things that we've talked about. So like I said, we'll give people a few more minutes to get on. There's a big group that have been invited, so I hope some of them can join us today. So again, we're talking about high elbow recovery, freestyle high elbow recovery. My name is David Miner. If you haven't been on one of these yet, I'm one of the Superfly swim coaches. So if you haven't seen the other ones, I recommend going back and watching them from the first video and watching them through in the series. You guys can go back and check those out, and they follow in good progression. So if you haven't seen the other ones, I'd get back on there and watch those as well. Again, we'll give everybody about 1 more minute and we'll get started. We are freestyle high elbow recovery, today's topic. This is the swim series number 5. So we're going to have about 3 more of these in this series before this series is ended. Again, I'm David Miner. I'm with Swim Without Limits. Run and operate that business and work, in tandem, working together with Superfly coaching and Adam and Tanya. All right, guys, we're going to get started. Today, like I said already, we're talking about freestyle high elbow recovery. So last week we were talking a little bit about body rotation and using a high elbow between your shoulder and your elbow, being in a high vertical position on the recovery, which helps in your body rotation. So today we're going to talk about a little bit more about high elbow recovery and how important it is for good quality swimming and what else it can do to really help you out. I think you're going to find one of the things that we talk about a little surprising, and being that you're triathletes out there, this will help apply to your bike and your run downstream. So, we'll get started here. So high elbow versus straight arm recovery versus a sweep recovery. So what I mean by straight arm, that means your arm's coming straight over. There's really no bend in your elbow, and you're bringing your arm straight over in the recovery. And a sweep or wide recovery is swinging your arm out wide. Okay, basically your thumb is kind of facing down towards the bottom of, the surface of the water. All right, as you bring your hand around. So you're kind of sweeping it around. So you're really wide out here on your recovery. So all those 3 of those positions, the high elbow, the straight arm, the sweep, the wide recovery, all can be effective and you can swim. If you go out and watch some of the videos, if you're watching any of the swimming on TV right now from the championships out in California with some of the fastest swimmers in the world, and especially the sprinters, you're going to see some of them going straight arm. Their goal is to get their arm and hand back into the water as fast as possible so they can make a nice fast pull, strong pull. Straight arm recovery is tough to do. It can create, it can be hard on the shoulders. And, if you're going to swim long distances, you guys out there doing triathlons, if you're also participating in open water swimming, that's a hard way to swim for a long period of time. A wide recovery, that makes it hard as well. It puts a lot of pressure on your shoulder, swinging your arm out wide. It doesn't give yourself any time to relax. It doesn't, get your elbow up where you have a chance to relax a little bit, and I'm going to get into that here in a little bit. But that wide sweeping recovery can be really tiring on the shoulder, and you're just kind of throwing your hand out there and around. So we're going to work on high elbow. So what does that mean? That means keep the upper arm, this part of your arm, from your shoulder to your elbow in a vertical position. So that means pointing up, versus out, versus, this is still high, but it's really hard on the shoulder on that straight arm recovery. So keep your forearm and your hand below your elbow. So on the recovery, your forearm and your hand is going to be below your elbow. So the shoulder to your elbow high, below your elbow to your hand, all below it. Okay, so as you're coming through, you're bringing your hand across on that recovery with that elbow high and your forearm and wrist below your elbow. Okay, the fingertips. All right, your fingertips should be just above the surface of the water as you're coming through. Okay, just above the surface. All right, so if you're swimming in open water, it's a little choppy, it's a little rough, you may have to adjust that some. I swim a lot in open water, and sometimes, your hand's going to crash into a wave or a boat wake or something like that, so you need to get that hand maybe a little bit higher. So you might have to lift the elbow a little bit higher. You might have to swing your hand out just a little bit to clear and get over the top of that wave or that boat wake or whatever it is that's creating a little bit of resistance for you out front. But the ultimate goal is to keep that forearm and those hands below your elbow with your fingertips coming right across the surface of the water. Okay, once the fingertips come, you don't want your thumb just above, so that would be sort of on an out sweep. You can kind of see my thumb here. You don't want your thumb facing down towards the surface of the water. Okay, you don't want your pinky, so you don't want to be inside here. Okay, you want to be those fingertips, and I'm talking fingertips in the middle, your middle fingers. So not your thumb, not your pinky, but those middle fingers facing down towards the bottom, facing down towards the surface of the water. So this sets up, for a really good entry. Okay, your hand needs to enter, and we're not going to get into a lot of that today. That'll be our next topic. But it sets up for a good recovery, it sets up for a good recovery, but also sets up for a good hand entry out in front. Okay, if you're out here wide, you might be coming in with your thumb. If you're straight arm, you might be coming in with your whole arm, laying onto the surface of the water. But if you're high elbow recovery, your hand's below your elbow, so as you come up to enter the water to take your next stroke, your hand's ready to go, your hand enters first. And like I said, we're going to talk a lot about that more next week. So keep the elbow closer to the body, okay, which means pulling that shoulder up and keeping that elbow up. So what does this do for you? Okay, it does a couple things. All right, one, it helps in the body rotation, which we talked about last week, getting that elbow up on that recovery. The second thing is, and this is one I think you might be a little surprised about, it actually helps you to conserve energy. So if your wrist, your forearm, your hand are below your elbow on that recovery, it can actually be relaxed. You can let it almost shake it out and let it relax as you're recovering. Okay, the big time swimmers, Michael Phelps and all those guys, that's what they do. This is in a relaxed position on that recovery. So what does that mean? That's conserving some energy. It's a very short period of time, but every single stroke, it starts to add up. All right, so you're not engaging your pecs as much, your chest muscles, and you're not engaging your biceps as much when you're coming with that high elbow recovery, which means you can allow your wrist and your forearm to relax a little bit. Try it sometimes just to shake your wrist out as you're coming through on that recovery, and feel your forearm relax a little bit. I think you'll be surprised at how much it works. I was playing around with it this morning, swimming practice, and it's nice. Feels different. I mean, it allows you to be able to relax just a little bit, so you have a little bit more energy. And what that can do is, over time, you're out there swimming 2.4 miles in an Ironman or 1.2. Over time, that can conserve energy and allow you to swim a little bit stronger. But it also give you some more energy when you get back to your bike and you got to go for a long ride. All right. So remember, think about that as you're also working with that recovery. And don't be tense. Don't allow your arm and forearm to be tense on that recovery. Let it relax. Let it be loose. Come up. Place your hand in the water. Okay. So how do we work on this if we aren't really good at it? Maybe our hands swooping out wide. Maybe we're more of a straight arm recovery swimmer. All right, well, for you guys to work out at home, okay, the best thing to do is there's a couple different drills, but I'm gonna focus today on the zipper drill, okay? The zipper drill is kind of like unzipping or zipping a dress, okay? So you ladies out there, you have a dress. You guys out there, you know, you're zipping up your wife's or your girlfriend's dress, all right? Basically, that's kind of what we're doing here. So what does that mean? That means as you finish your stroke, you should be finishing with your thumb down towards your upper hip, you know, upper thigh area, hip area. And as you recover, you're gonna drag your thumb up your side. You're basically zippering. So you're zippering up your body and then you're gonna recover, okay? So zipper, zipper. So I want you to feel that thumb actually drag along your side, all right? That tells your brain that, hey, I'm making an actual connection to my body here and I can feel that I'm doing this correctly. If you do not drag your thumb up your side, you may think you're doing it, but you may be way out here, okay? So this is a little bit over exaggerated high elbow when you're keeping that elbow, or keeping that thumb next to your side, but it's really gonna force you to feel what it's like to get that elbow nice and high on that recovery. All right, again, as you try that zipper drill, you're gonna zipper up to about, you know, your middle of your rib cage, up there around your chest, around your pectoral muscles, all right, and then release and finish your stroke and get out there ready for your next catch and your next pull. So it's called the zipper drill. So we're zippering up. I saw Jamie said, what about, you know, unzipping? Well, unzipping, we don't want to do that yet, Jamie. So that's a little bit later. You know, that's after swim practice. All right, so Jamie also mentioned here, made a comment about fingertip drill. That's another one you can do, whereas on your recovery, your fingertips, meaning your middle fingers, actually drag across the surface of the water, okay? So you're literally dragging your fingertips across the surface of the water. You're not able to do that real well if you're out here or you're on a straight arm recovery. So dragging those fingertips across the surface of the water, allowing that hand to go back into the water. Okay, so remember, work on the zipper drill, all right? Keeping that thumb touching your side as you recover, all right? Let that hand enter nice and clean out in front of you, okay? Followed by the wrist and the forearm, all right? So high elbow, again, it can help you save energy, can help in your body rotation, okay? So all important things in helping you be able to swim better. So get out there and practice this. You know, work on that high elbow recovery. Think about keeping that wrist and that forearm loose as you're recovering. See if that makes a difference. Maybe you'll notice some extra energy as you're swimming those laps in that master's practice or on your own swimming laps or with whatever group you swim with. So go out there and give it a try. You know, work together with some friends and see how it goes. All right, so I just wanted to throw out another reminder. We have our freestyle clinic coming up here in Sarasota, Florida on August 12th. So we have about, I think, around 11 spots left in that. So if you're interested, you know, go ahead and jump in there. I know some of you don't live around here, so you won't be able to make that. But if you can make it, come on back. Video analysis, if you want to get your stroke analyzed, go ahead, send me your videos. All right, I can review them either online or we can do it live together. So reach out to me for pricing and any questions you have on that. All right, so get out there. Have fun with working on your high elbow recovery. All right, good luck with whatever you're doing this weekend, whether you're racing, whether you're practicing. Go out there and enjoy some good swimming. All right, guys, next week's topic is, let me look. Next week's topic is hand entry and the catch. So I mentioned briefly today the hand entry. We're going to get into the hand entry and the catch next week. So I hope you guys have a great week. Again, have a great weekend, and we will see you next time. All right, have a great day. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.